Continuing our series about life lessons from Jesus, we find our text in Matthew 6, 25 through 34. And I'm going to highlight a few parts of that. I'm only going to use all the parts that deal with one particular word. Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life. Which of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to their stature? So why do you worry about clothing? Therefore do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? What shall we drink? What shall we wear? Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about its own things. So what do you think the word is we're going to talk about today? Worry. Is there any worriers out there? Anybody worry a little bit? No? Just a little? Oh, no. But we find the word worry 6 times in our passage this morning, and he's trying to constantly reminding us not to worry. How simple is that? Just don't worry. Don't worry about today. Don't worry about yesterday. Stop worrying about tomorrow. In other words, don't worry. All these things will take care of themselves. And so today I want to talk about being 2 things, a worrier or a warrior. Researchers have found that 40% of the things that we worry about never happen. I had a great, wise older woman in Vermont when I was there. She always told me, the things you worry about never happen. It's the things you don't think about that cause us the most problems. Yeah, that's probably true. But 40% of things we worry about never happen. 30% are in the past, and guess what? Can't help it. It's over. It's done with. 12% of our worry involves the affairs of other people. And that's not even our business. Why do we worry about what they're doing? 10% relates to sickness, whether it's real or imagined. And that leaves 8% of the things we worry about are likely to happen. 8%. I was reading a Wall Street Journal article about worry, and I really like this because all you worriers now have a reason. There's a gene called the worry gene, and it's basically inherited from our parents. So if you worry a lot, guess what? You can blame someone else. They concluded, though, in this passage that inheriting a welcome gene doesn't mean you have to stay a worrier. You don't have to live with anxiety and worry. Most cases, it doesn't happen. You see, worry is a low-grade fear. It's interest paid on trouble that hasn't happened yet. You pay interest on something that is coming down the road, maybe. So I think there's one thing I want to say to you. And I want to say, stop it. Stop it. Just stop worrying. Pastor, that's easier said than done, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I mean, stop blowing things out of proportion. My goodness. We get so worked up about things that don't matter in light of eternity. We get so caught up in the little things in life that really don't matter when we consider our eternal life with God. We allow the circumstances of life to control our emotions. I have said so many times when people say, well, that person makes me so mad. Well, you know, that person is controlling you. Same with worry. Worry controls us. It gets us all worked up. It gets us all excited about something that may or may not happen. So why don't we get excited about it? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Easy, right? Sure. I want to talk about Jairus a little bit tonight. You know who Jairus was? An official in the synagogue. He fell at the feet of Jesus, begging him to come and pray for his daughter who was very, very sick. Jesus started towards the Jairus' home. While they're on their way, a servant came and told Jairus his daughter was dead. They told him not to bother the master any longer. In other words, it's all over. Why have you go to my house now? Jesus hears the servant, turns to the Father and says, do not be afraid, only believe. Jesus was saying to Jairus, don't be a worrier, be a warrior. Believe what I say, not what the circumstance says. Interesting, huh? Only believe in me. Don't believe in that report. Believe in me. Don't allow fearfulness right now to control your life. Don't let worry control your life. Because if you allow it in, I can't do anything for you. We have to be in warrior mode, not worrier mode, when we deal with the circumstance of life. If you want results, we need to be strong in Christ. Of course, we know the story. They arrived at the house. Everyone was weeping and wailing. Everyone was carrying on. It was a dead girl. Jesus asked in Mark 5:39, why all the commotion and wailing? The child's not dead. She's just sleeping. What was he saying? He was saying to get all worked up over nothing. How could he say such a thing? I mean, they've checked this girl. They see that she's dead. And he gets upset at them for getting worked up about what he says is nothing. To Jesus, they are worried about nothing. Because he had control over that. In fact, he gets so mad, he kicks him out of the room. He doesn't want anybody in the room when he walks into that room with this girl who they say just died. He didn't want all that commotion, all that worrying going on. If he's going to work his miraculous power. And after everyone clears the room, what does he do? Takes her by the hand and says, get up. She wakes up and rises to everyone's amazement. I love that miracle. I love that miracle. It's like Jesus says, follow me, trust in me, and everything's going to be okay. And yet we don't always turn to him for these things. See, we allow the problem to become greater than Christ. We allow the problems in our life to become greater than the power of Jesus Christ. We make a great commotion over nothing. Some people would argue that this experience that Jairus went through was not a nothing, but you can't argue with Jesus. In his mind, it's no greater to raise a girl from the dead than it is to raise her from a night's sleep. In his mind and in his power, it's just as easy to raise her from the dead as it to wake her up from a night's sleep. Imagine that. The power that Christ had and has in our lives if we just trust in him. Now, I know we all face sometimes insurmountable obstacles. But Jesus tries to get our attention and let us know that our problems aren't really a big deal to him. He'll take care of it. That doesn't mean he doesn't care for us and wants to make us better in life, but that he's able to take care of it if we do one thing. Turn it over to him. Turn it over to Christ. He's telling us to stop the commotion. Stop getting so worked up over all the little commotions and problems that we are facing and look to God who takes the impossibilities and makes them possible. Instead of all the problems we have, we turn it over to Christ. It'll be so much easier. Stop the commotion. If we want to be warriors and not warriors, we need to learn to lean on those everlasting arms. We sing the song, leaning on the everlasting arms. We need to turn it over. Lean on those arms. A warrior takes matters into their own hands. And therefore, guess what? They worry about it more. But a warrior takes matters and puts them in God's hands. Come on, folks, it's so easy. Then you don't have to worry about it because you know what? God's in control. God's in control. Are you going to be a worrier or a warrior? We have to decide that. We need to stop the commotion. Be warriors for God. Put our trust in him. I'm going to share a number of Old Testament stories to prove to you that God specializes in dealing with people's problems. In 2 Samuel 23:20-22, Benai, son of Jehoiada, was a valiant fighter. He performed great exploits. He struck down 2 of Moab's best men. He also went down into a pit on a snowy day and killed a lion. He struck down a huge Egyptian, although the Egyptian had a spear and he only had a sword. He snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. These were the exploits of Benaiah's son of Jehoiada, and he was famous. He was one of David's mighty men. He jumped in a pit with a lion and killed him. How many would do that? But the Bible makes mention on purpose that Benaiah jumped in that pit on a snowy day and did this. It's one thing to kill a lion, as David did, but he killed him with ice and snow under his feet. Think about that. I can't picture this Benaiah as a warrior. Why? But I picture God being with him. That is what made him the warrior that he was, because God was with him. It was an unequal fight. Think about it. A lion in the ice and snow, a large Egyptian with a spear, and you're running around with a sword. It's an unequal fight, but guess what? He was able to defeat both because God was with him. And I think knowing that God specializes in unequal fights will give us courage. That means when you're going up against something that you don't think you can defeat, when you're going up against something you think you cannot win, remember that God specializes in those times. He specializes in dealing with those issues. Courage is standing in the face of fear and worry and doing it anyway. How many times have people said to me, God can do anything He wants in my life, but do not send me to Africa. But you know what? If He does call you to Africa, you need to stand courageous and go and do what He calls you to do. It's not the absence of fear and worry that help us. It's taking action in spite of that. Someone once said, courage is the fear that has said its prayers. I think that's so true. Mark Twain said, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear, but mastery of fear. God needs men and women in these troubled times. God needs men and women in these times to say, God said to do it, and I'm going to do it. Even if you have to get knee-deep in snow and fight lions. And I pray we never have to. We need to say, bring it on. I'm not going to worry about anything. You call me to do something, bring it on. Because I know that you're telling me to do it. I'll not worry about it. I know God is with me. Have you seen the things in the back of trucks and no fear, no fear? Folks, we need to live by that. No fear, no worries. I mean, we may be wondering what God has for us. We may be wondering where God wants us to go, what He wants us to do. Don't worry about it, because when it happens, God will put us right where we need to be. If we trust in Him. If we're here today and there's something going on inside us, and we're worried about some test coming up, stare it in the face and say, I'm not going to worry about anything because God says He's with me. If we're here today dealing with financial needs, whatever it may be, we need to say, God will supply all our needs. We shouldn't worry about it. If we're here and we're living in all kinds of commotion and chaos, I encourage you to stare worry in the face like a warrior and say, you know what? I have the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. If we're here and we think we're so sinful that we can't be a part of God's kingdom, guess what? We don't need to worry about it because Jesus made us more than a conqueror. He helped us overcome the world by His death. God is known for unequal fights, putting people in those unequal fights, because that's His specialty. And we come through victorious. We don't need to worry about what the future will bring. There's nothing equal about Jehoshaphat and his army marching into the flashing steel of the Syrian army. Jehoshaphat probably never studied war strategy anywhere. What other military figure would attack an army and lead an army into a fight with a harp, a violin, and a tambourine? And yet that's exactly what he did. And why? Because God said to do it. And he trusted God. There's nothing equal about the children of Israel marching around the walls of Jericho. Think about it. Is that a good strategy, just walking around, blowing a bunch of horns? No, but look what it did. It worked. There's nothing equal about Gideon going into battle with 300 men against thousands. But that's what he did, and he won. Why? Because God specializes in unequal fights. You get the hint now? Do you get it? You understand? There's nothing equal about a little boy called David who went into the fight against a giant called Goliath and killed him with a stone. If that's what he did. I ask you the question again. Are you a warrior or a warrior? Are you allowing God to be the master of your life? What are you facing right now that may seem impossible? Keep in mind that God wants us to stop worrying. Stop making a commotion about those little things in life. Start trusting Him. Don't take matters into our own hands. It's never going to work out right. And over again we learn that lesson, but we don't seem to get it. If we're going to be real warriors for God, we don't take the matter into our own hands. We give them to God. We let Jesus have them. So stop looking to circumstances and problems and start looking to the one that will take care of those for us. That's how easy it is. Even when we're facing insurmountable odds, we need to declare, I will not worry about it. God will take care of it. Let's go to Him in prayer. Lord, we are so grateful we have You. We worry so much about things. We put worries first, and our lives are lived all askew, all messed up because we don't trust in You enough. Lord, we just ask that we can trust in You now, and that all that we do, all that we say, shows that we are warriors, not warriors. There's so many little things in life that cause us so much trouble. Lord, we just ask You that You continue to guide us and hold us in Your loving arms. And let us be the warriors we were meant to be, and not the warriors we try to be. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Would stand and turn in your hymn book to hymn number 568, Take My Life and